Hi everybody, it's Tyler Lowndes here, and this is gonna be my first top 10 list, so if you guys could give it a like, then I'd really appreciate it. But anyways, this is gonna be my top 10 most used troops. These are mostly just the troops that I find myself using a lot, and that are also pretty decently effective in battles. And if there's a troop that's better than the troops on this list, it's probably just because I don't have that good of access to it, so I probably just don't use it. So anyways, we're gonna get into the list now with number 10. Number 10 on this list is minions, because I don't really find myself using them a lot, but I do use them for elixir farming, and I do that a lot because I usually don't have a lot of elixir, and mine are level 4 currently, so I don't really, so they're not too bad in battles, but still, they're not that close on the amount that I use, so that's why they're only number 10. I know a lot of people probably really like minions for, like, Lava Lunian battles, but I'm not at the level to do those. At least I don't have hounds, so that's really why. Anyways, on to number 9. The number 9 spot has to go to P.E.K.K.A.s because I don't use them all that often anymore, but I remember that I used to be like obsessed with them at Town Hall 8, I think. Yeah, because I used to do a ton of guy wipes and go wipes, which P.E.K.K.A.s are a big part of those, and I'd also get them in Clan Castle a lot. And they're only number 9 on this list because I just don't find myself using them anymore. But they are on this list because I used to a lot. And that's really the only real reason. And my main reasoning for really using them a ton was just because I got a bunch of advice from people on globals whenever I was at Town Hall 8 on better strategies. And mine are currently level 2, and I also stopped using them because I couldn't save up enough elixir to get them to level 3. But I'm gonna try one day. Anyways, on to number 8. Okay, and number 8 would have to go to Quake Spell, or better known as Earthquake Spells, probably, because I don't really use them that much, but still, whenever I do use them, they're really useful for me. And that's my main reasoning for it. And I still use it a lot, but it's just that I have other stuff to spend elixir on more now. So I don't really use them as much, but I still donate them a lot. And I still use them, it's just that I usually don't have enough elixir to train 3, because I usually get my first one in the Clan Castle. But, yeah. And I do have level 2 right now, but whenever I give them, they're level 3 because of the Clan level 5 plus 1 thing. Anyways, on to number 7. Okay, and number 7 goes to Quake. Number 7 goes to heal spells, because I use heal spells in a lot of enemies, but I don't use a lot of them. Usually it's just 1 or 2 out of my regular spells that I could hold. So I don't really count it as using it a lot, even though I do have it in a lot of enemies. I just use other spells a lot more, especially now that I got Jump and Freeze spell. And I've been really doing poisons a lot more. So I haven't really been doing it that much. And I just like to give a little bit of reasoning for why these are on the list. But anyways, I guess time to go on to number 6. Okay, so number 6 on the top 10 list would have to be jump spells, because with jump spells I use them decently, especially since I've gone into this new enemy that I'm doing. I'll have to show it in a different video, but yeah, jump spells a pretty decent part of it, and so I use it a lot in my video. Well, I mean, not in my videos, in just my everyday raids. I usually get a 2-star, which I'm not that happy about, but still it's better than a no-star. And that's why it takes the number 6 spot on my first top 10 list. And yeah, jump spells. Because there's no other spell that makes you jump. Anyways, on to number... Okay, and the number 5 spot goes to balloons, because I don't really use them that much on this account, but I use them a lot on my second account, which is Waffles. I think the number 2 lowest that I cleared, because it's only a Town Hall fur. But I pretty much just only use mass balloons with Clan Castle troops on that account now, so it really had to be on this list. But overall, I don't go on that account too much currently, because it's not that high level. So I still don't use them enough for it to be higher on the list, technically. I have used them a little bit on this channel. And sorry about my voice, I have allergies, and so, yeah. And with the balloons, I just like them a lot of because they do some really nice work in a base, especially if you have something to get backed up by them. Like, if you have a bunch of wizards and then the balloons just take out all the defenses, then that's a pretty nice raid. Anyways, on the number 4. Okay, and the number 4 spot goes to golems, because it's been in pretty much every enemy I've used since I've unlocked them, except for my one enemy, which is the Guy Wipe enemy, which I use giants instead of golems. But I've used them in Go Wipe, my current enemy that I don't really have a name for, my Go-Ho enemy, which was the giant golem and hog enemy, and then I just give them the people with 30 housing space in the Clan Castle a decent amount, with the earthquake spells that I give out. And yeah, mine are level 2 currently, so once I give them, they're level 3. And yeah, I just really like them. They're a really good tank. And they're like a meat shield, even though they're not made of meat at all. They're made out of rocks. And so that's pretty much why golems are on the list. Mostly whenever I speed up the replays, it's mostly because I don't have anything else to talk about. Anyways, on to number 3. Okay, in the number 3 spot goes to the Rage spell, because it's my most used spell, I have to say, because, well, it's a pretty good spell for me to use, because I noticed that I use, like, at least one in every single enemy I've ever made, as opposed to the heal spell being in all but, like, 1 or 2, and the dark spells being in, like, only 1 or so. And I don't really use lightning that much anymore. I'll probably use it well if I get spells on my second account. But yeah, that was pretty much all I had to say on Rage. I didn't really have that much info on it. Anyways, on to number 2. Okay, now it's time for the number 2 spot, which is Valkyries. I use Valkyries a lot in my enemies because whenever I clean up the surrounding distracting buildings with my wizards, then it goes relatively very, very good for me whenever I just do Valkyries into the middle of the base, where it's already been cleared out by golems and wall breakers, and sometimes quick spells. Then I can usually just wipe out the entire core with a rage spell, and maybe a heal spell. And so, yeah, I've noticed I've been using it a lot more as I progress through Town Hall 8 and 9. That I used to not use them at all. I used to just only, like, use mass enemies that worked really terribly, even though it was just, like... Anyways, On to the honorable mentions. Okay, now that we're done with honorable mentions, now it's time for the #1 spot, which is Wizards. I'm not specifically calling Wizards the best troop, I'm calling them the troop I use the most. Because I do use Wizards. Other than Rage Spell, I think it's the only troop that I've used in every single LB I've ever made, really. Up to, after I got them, I just used them so much. I used a ton of mass enemies with them, but those failed. But still, they do pretty good work on bases whenever they have the right shields, like tanks to back them up. So they could get pretty good. I hope you all enjoyed this video because this was my first top 10 list video. Hope you guys all enjoyed. And if you want me to do more of these, then give me a like. And maybe even subscribe. Bye.